Bitcoin is coming up on its most important monthly candle close yet. In less than 2 days, we'll find out if we're about to see the parabolic phase of this year's bull run. So let's dive into today's video to talk about what exactly we need to see on these short time frame charts as well as the monthly charts and how the price action is looking currently. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jess, and as the channel name suggests, it's all about crypto, trading, and technical analysis. So if you're all about that or you'd love to learn, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. So every single cycle, we tend to create some really key levels. And then before the next start of the bull run, we tend to retrace those levels. And particularly on a monthly chart is when the retracement or the break of those key levels tends to become really significant because it's happening on a really high time frame. So very first one that we generally create is, that all-time high, right? Because the end of that all-time high marks the start of the bear market, okay? And then within that bear market, we create a dead cat bounce level. So a little bit of green within the months and months of red. And that dead cat bounce level goes on to become a very strong level of resistance. So a monthly break of that level of resistance creates the start of the bull run. It tends to trigger or mark the end of the accumulation phase in the 4-year cycle. And generally that doesn't happen until after the halving event. So we are very early right now. I think there's a lot of unprecedented stuff happening within cryptocurrency this cycle, so I think that's why we're getting some early milestones. But so the dead cat bounce level, or that level of resistance, which was at $48,000, triggers the start of the bull run or marks the start of the bull run. The all-time high level generally marks the start of the parabolic phase of the bull run. So two main phases of the bull run that you can kind of conceptualize there, and that is the level that we're currently trying to test right now. So $69,000 was our prior all-time high, right? So this month, which ends in 2 days, so Monday morning, we are looking for a candle close above $69,000, right? So every single cycle, it is that candle close, that monthly candle close above the prior all-time high that triggers an explosive move to our next all-time high. If we take a look at all these different cycles here, that is exactly what has happened. So we're looking for that close above 69. So let's talk about how the price action is looking on the short time frame and what we need to see over the next 48 hours to really confirm this candle close. Okay, so if we take a look at the short time frame, things are actually looking really good. Okay, so we have our key level support here between $68.5 and $69,000. We also have our point of control here on the VRPV just below that range at 68.5. So that means that even on the very short time frame, even if we go down to test, we break down from $69,000 and we go to test these levels here, there is a lot of bullish volume. So we should be able to push the price back upwards. And that's exactly what we saw here. So we saw a test of this range here as a base of support, and we found that it actually holds. So it's a very strong, good and established level of support. We have retested it and bounced from it. Okay, and the reason why we haven't really gone upwards from here is because of the Easter weekend. Whether or not you celebrate Easter or not, it is a public holiday, and a lot of countries around the world will be having, their extended time off work, sale periods, etc. So people aren't really trading right now. Volume's low, volatility's low, and obviously momentum's going to be dropping. But despite all of that, things are still looking really good. So structurally, we're in a major uptrend still. So that same uptrend that we had from the very bottom of the correction at $60,000, it is still holding, and it's got 3 points of validation as well. So it is a very strong uptrend. And despite all of the lack of volume over the last couple of days and the lack of interest over the weekend, the price hasn't dropped below that. Okay, so that is a really good sign. So at this level here, at 68.5 to 69, not only do we have horizontal support, we have the point of control level, and we have a strong short time frame uptrend. So all of those things are going to be supporting that monthly candle close being above 69K. So the worst case scenario of what would happen over the next couple of days would be a breakdown of these huge levels of support here at 68.5 to 69, right? And then a move to that next level of volume. So we have a next really big level of volume here at around $67,000. You can see that peak in the VRPV there. So in the worst case scenario, if we break down and we lose these levels of support, we might get a little bit of a liquidity wick, so a flush out of the market before we get that candle close above $69,000 and a major move upwards. So that's a very likely scenario that we see, or not very likely, but it is a potential scenario that we see, right? In the worst case scenario for the weekly candle close or the monthly candle close, we see that flush before we get the close. However, If we lose $67,000 at that point, we get a candle close below this range of support here at 68.5 thousand, below that POC level, below the trend line, that would trigger a move lower to this next base of support here at 64.5 to 65. Now, that's not necessarily a terrible thing. If we go over to the weekly chart here, that is still within this macro range of support here. Okay, so it's not going to trigger a major move downwards or anything like that, but it's just not what we're looking for. Okay, so we're trying to get, we're aiming for the close to be above this range here at 69K, but it just means that we're not going to see that just yet. We won't get the parabolic behavior that we're looking for just yet. Won't be confirmation of that. It'll just be a continuation of consolidation within this range of resistance here, testing that all-time high. So that's fine. That's the worst case scenario, and that is still fine. It's not necessarily bearish. In the bullish case scenario, if we hold these levels here at 69K and we move up, naturally the next level we're going to test is $73,000, right? Because that is our previous, all-time high on the short time frame. We did test $73,000 2 weeks ago, and so that's the next level that we're really going to be looking for a break above. And we also need to break through this major RSI downtrend before we see that break of resistance. So generally when we approach a really strong level of resistance on shorter time frames or the daily charts, we tend to develop a higher time frame or a really extended RSI momentum downtrend. And so we'll need to see a break of that before we see a break of $73,000. This downtrend is literally the reason why upon this break of 69 and this retest and whatever, we didn't get that test of the next level of resistance, because we need to be able to flip this before we manage to, test that next level. Upon that break though, if we do finally break above that level, on the RSI, the next move that I do expect is a move to $80,000, right? That is the key. That is the next round number and the next psychological level of resistance. And so that is a good target in terms of the next move upwards. If we take a look at even on a daily chart, we'll go back to the last time we had a really extended RSI downtrend. That was when we were testing a major level of resistance at $48,000. That was this range here. You can see that as we approach that level, momentum was just really dropping. Same kind of situation, guys. We had these big tests and then just slowly decreasing momentum. We had a fake out and rejection. Very similar to what's happening over here. And then finally, upon the break of that high time frame RSI downtrend, we had a massive move upwards, right? So we broke above the levels of resistance finally, and we continued right up to that next level at $60,000. So it was a really explosive move. These RSI downtrends are a really great indication of when the trend is going to flip in a really explosive way. So that is one key thing that we're looking for this break here in terms of upwards trajectory. But regardless of whether or not we break this uptrend or not, as long as we get that $69,000 candle close, we should be looking good on the macro charts. And if we're looking good on the macro charts, the short time frame will eventually kind of get there, right? We just need to wait. So just to really quickly summarize all the analysis for today, we are looking really, really good on the short time frame. We have our key level support here at 68.5, and 68.5 to that $69,000, that range there. And despite all the dropping momentum, the price is still printing higher lows and higher highs, and we're still in our key short time frame uptrend. That's still holding really, really well. All those things are supporting that candle close above 69K. In that worst case scenario, even if we get a move or a bit of a flush to $67,000, as long as the candle close on the 4-hour chart is above this POC level and above that lower low, we should just continue to bounce. And again, as long as we bounce and we get that close above 69, things are looking fun. Alrighty guys, that is everything from me today. If you guys enjoyed the video or you learned something, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel down below. If you want to see more of my content, I have a free Telegram channel where you guys can get daily Bitcoin updates as well as crypto and economic news. If you're interested in my VIP channel, you can check out more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trade setups with exact entry points, stop losses and targets, as well as trade justifications and a risk management and trading journal. If you are a trader and you want 15% of your trading fees, sign up down below to BitGet and BingX. They are two of the world's top 10 exchanges, and BitGet is available to everyone outside of the US and Singapore, and BingX is available non-KYC and worldwide. I hope you guys have a great week, enjoy your Easter weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye!